Okay, hi YouTube. I'm going to make a correction for the tutorial I just posted, the second tutorial. There is an error, and I'm going to show you what's wrong with this. So I'm playing this game, and I move up and down and forward and back, and you see the controls are getting kind of wonky. That's because like the thrusts are like adding together at every vector, and it's like just a complete mess. So that's not what we want. It's a very simple fix. It's just that the plus here, you see in the code, you go into ship movement. So you want to click on ship movement, and this should just be equals transform that forward. So when you're down in the update, you see where my cursor is. Just get rid of that plus and then move it to the center mouse wheel thrust. So you want the center mouse wheel thrust to have the plus, and that's going to make a huge difference when you go in game. I'm going to show you what that does, and yeah. It doesn't add different vectors together. It's just the single straight mouse wheel thrust, and you can fly around a lot better. We're doing one just a brief introduction. We're going to put in a skybox, so that's what this tutorial is. This is a great skybox. It's free, and I wanted to show you. Actually, I think there are like 4 skyboxes, 3 or 4. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a very good skybox, so I want to show you that. So we go in our game, Unity, we go to Asset Store, and I think in the search bar we just type space skybox, and then we do the free only. Remember to do that. And we scroll down, and it should be Space Skies Free. So Space Skies Free. You go into Space Skies. So if you see that, I'm going to do that once again. You're in the Assets folder, and there's a little folder that says Space Skies. And let's see which one is the best. The first one, second one, or third one. I like the third one, actually. I think it's cool looking, and I'm gonna go ahead. Let's do 4K. Why not? I mean, it could probably like hinder our resources and make the game slower to build and stuff. But let's go to Inspector, and where do we go? I want to click on camera. We want to go to the camera, which is right here, main camera. And we go, it's been a while since I did this. So add component, skybox, and we add this material here. And look at that. That is just breathtaking. So that's that part of the tutorial out of the way. The next we're going to do, I'm going to make a planet, and I'm going to change some things of the camera so that we can see planets that are far away. So we change the draw distance. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. The nearest 0.3, I think we can leave that, and the far will be something like 100,000. So that's under clipping planes. The far is 100,000, and that should let us see a good sized planet. Well, why don't we make it like 500,000 actually, and that should do it. So we go, and the next thing that we do in scene, we will make a 3D object sphere, and we will make it really big. So I dragged it pretty far, and we're going to change the scale from 1 to, let's do 5,000. That's a good size for a planet. It can obviously be a lot larger. So yeah, it's too big right now. We gotta move it. There, we have our planet. So we're going to fix this. So what's wrong with this? Do you guys know? Can you guys answer the question, what is wrong with this? I'll give you a hint. It's in this line. So if maybe you more experienced programmers know, in the update function, this calls once per frame. And to call the GetComponent once per frame is very taxing. It's not quite as taxing as like a find object of type, but it is quite taxing. So what we're going to want to do is make a reference to the rigid body. So we're going to make a rigid body here, rigid body, and we're going to call this player ship rigid body. That's kind of a long name, but we'll just in the start method, we're going to say player ship rigid body is equal to GetComponent. So it does the GetComponent at the start. And what that does is it moves the load time at the beginning when you're not playing the game. And that just makes things a lot smoother when you're in game. And there are other reasons why you don't want to call GetComponent once per frame. And we're going to also change the GetComponent on the lasers. And so here, player ship rigid body. So what I did is I deleted the GetComponent rigid body velocity and rigid body. I didn't delete the velocity part, and I just put player ship rigid body velocity, and that should be good. So we're done here for the rigid body. We want to move over to our other script. So let's see here. We go to, let's see, Leister-Frazier. So I'm going to write out here list.rigid body, and I'm going to call it laser rigid body. And we're going to, let's see here, rigid body, player ship rigid body, and we're going to do an audio source, laser sound object. And so we're going to go down here, and the first thing we want to do is right below the laser list equals new list game object in the start. We're going to want to make a new list called laser rigid body equals new list rigid body and we're going to go down here and we're going to make laser rigid body dot add. We're going to do laser beam ints, and that should, wait a second, what is going on here? Laser rigid body, laser beam ints. Working here. Let's see what. Oh, of course. So the laser beam ints, we do GetComponent, rigid body. And that should be good. And we go down here, laserlist.i.rigid body, and we want to change this to laser rigid body. And that velocity, and transform that parent, and we can go up here and we can do player ship rigid body is equal to GetComponent rigid body, and that's good. And then next we do, and make sure that's outside of the for loop. That's important. The player ship rigid body that I just typed in is outside of the for loop, so make sure you do that. Very important, because you wouldn't want to do it. Object is equal to GetComponent audio source. I'm going to try to cut out drinking milk. I don't know, it kind of messes with my head a little bit. I feel like I get like, it's hard for me to think when I have milk. I drink milk. I don't know if any of you notice that. I especially notice with gluten. Like if I have gluten, I get so depressed. It's sad. So I don't eat gluten. I do sometimes. I'm like, oh, one sandwich isn't going to hurt. And then I feel like crap. And it's just, yeah. So yeah, when I'm doing well, it's because I'm not eating bread usually, or pasta, especially not pasta. Pasta's the worst for me. If I eat pasta, like I don't sleep at all. Anyway. Okay, so we do rigid body, and we gotta just replace. So I am in the for loop, the if statement, not laser list, inactive and hierarchy, and transparent. The transform.parent.getComponent rigid body velocity. Well, we just switch out player ship rigid body. And so this should work. This should work. I'm going to attach to Unity. 50% chance of success, I'd say. Because you always mess up somehow, you know. It's like, yep, there's something going on here. So, attach left laser. There's no rigid body attached to left laser, right laser. Oh, yeah. This is wrong. So up here, I'm going to highlight it. Player ship rigid body, GetComponent rigid body. This should be transform.parent. Transform. I wonder how coders were able to code without a debugger. You know, you ever wonder about that? Like, how do they do it? It must have been so much harder. Yeah, it's working. Cool. All right. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I have. I've already gone through the Skybox already. How to do that. And next, we're going to ship movement, and I'm just going to do. We're gonna go into ship movement. So the script ship movement. Click on that, and we're going to do in the update method. What we're gonna do is do a barrel roll. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I love doing barrel rolls personally. Yeah. So let's make barrel rolls. So what keys should we use? Q and E seem like commonsensical keys, and then WASD is for the strafing. This is side thrusters and up thrusters and down thrusters. So yeah, I think Q&E is a good use. In the targeting system, like a lot of targeting systems like to use E for enemy, and it's very close to your fingers, but I'm personally partial to having the controls of the ship be central to, like, in the gameplay. I think that Q&E is probably the best keys to use, but I don't know. I mean, barrel roll is not a very essential movement really in a game like Freelancer, and this is where we kind of deviate from actual Freelancer. This isn't a complete Freelancer clone, but I just like to have all the controls around here. So we're gonna go ahead and make the barrel roll. So if input dot get key, and we're doing get key instead of get key down here, because the difference between get key and get key down just gets the key as soon as you press the key down. If you hold it down, it doesn't keep doing it. So with get key, it's like every frame that the key is down, it'll do it. So that's the difference between get key down and get key. So get key, and we're going to do key code that, let's say, yeah, let's do E first. And we're going to do an if statement. If I think we're going to make a new variable here. So we're going to go up here and we're going to make a new variable called zval. So float zval, and we'll just set it like that. And then in the start method, we're going to go and set zval equal to 0. Zval is equal to 0. All right. So, and then we're going to do zval is equal is if zval is greater than -4. What we do is do zval. So Q, I think the E is rotating clockwise. It's negative. I don't quite understand. I thought that clockwise rotation was positive, but maybe I'm wrong about that. So it's a negative rotation that we want. If zval is equal to, it's greater than the maximum negative rate of rotation. So that 4 zval, the 4 is the maximum rate of rotation in the negative direction, which is what E will do. E will barrel roll to the right, and that's a negative rotation. So we set zval is equal to, and this is a new concept that I'm introducing to you. I probably should have done this before, but this is time.delta time. So we're using time to kind of smooth out the motion, and that's what we want to do. So we'll multiply it by 4. That's the rate at which it adds to itself. So it reaches max speed in one second. So 4 times time dot delta time. All right. And then else statement. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Else zval is greater than -4. If else is less than -4, then zval is equal to -4. And I made an error here. Zval plus equals should be -4. Of course, it's going in the negative direction. So, yep, that's good. And let's see what I'm missing here. Okay, so if input.getKey.e is pressed, we want an else statement. So if it's not pressed, what we do is we slow it down. And we're going to need an if statement. So if and if zval is less than 0. So if it's turning in the negative direction, we want to just do the opposite. We want to make it smoothly go back to not turning around. So we do 4 times time dot delta time. So it kind of slowly goes from rotating around and rotating right clockwise, or clockwise. Goes from rotating clockwise to slowly stopping, and that's what this does. So next one, we want to just copy this for the queue. And I know I'm going to make a mistake here because we need to make a lot of changes. Well, I'm hopeful. I am hopeful I will not make a mistake. So here we are. We just changed key code to queue, and like everything the opposite. So zval is less than 4. If zval is less than 4, then we want to add 4 times that delta time to zval. And else, if it is greater than 4, then zval is equal to 4. And then zval, if it's less than 0, so I made a little error here. I want a plus equals on the else statement of the key code E. So we're going back to key code E. We want to have a plus equals, not just equals. And so here, zval is equal to 4 times delta time. We want to have a plus negative 4. And zval is less than 0. We want to have that greater than 0. If zval is greater than 0, then we want negative. So that'll slow it down. All right, so looks like we can do barrel rolls now. Maybe, if we're lucky, we will be able to do proper barrel rolls. Oh, I forgot something. So we're not able to do anything right now because we have to go down to the transform.rotate, and we have the y, the x, or the x and y, and this is the z. So in the z, we want to zval. We want to have zval there. Zval. So this is in the ship movement script. Okay, so now we should be able to do barrel rolls. And we're doing barrel rolls. And we can turn left and right, and we can fire. This is getting to be a little bit fun, I think. Now you can play around with the rate of rotation or the maximum zval in the if statements to tailor your barrel rolls however you want. Yeah, so we've got the forward and backward motion, and we have some rotation. It's a basic rotation. We're not doing it properly. We're going to fix the rotation later. But this is pretty good. This is a nice little demo that you can show to people. And you know, it's kind of cool game. It's going to be way better though. So stick around for future tutorials, And yeah, have a good one. Bye.